What's up, everyone? I'm excited. Tonight is Thursday, another episode of Crash and Burn. It is Thursday, September 17th, and last week we had an awesome show as well, and so this week we're back again. They still let us do this, which is cool. They don't really have a choice because we can do it no matter what. So there. Anyways, so tonight this is Crash and Burn. If you guys are just joining us for the first time tonight, well, we have a great show for you. We talk about everything from guns, gear, politics, news, technology, all kinds of cool stuff. So you guys can be active in the show, and we encourage it. The best way to do it is to grab the Google Plus link and send us your questions from there. The second best way, which is also a great way to do it, is to head over to Gun Channels. Hit up gunchannels.com/crashandburn. And by hitting up over there, you can join the chat room right there, and we're all pretty much monitoring that chat. So head over to gunchannels.com/crashandburn and set up an account so you can chat with us. So that's cool. We're still not broadcasting live on Spreaker, but the next day I upload it there so it shows up in iTunes. So if you're listening to us through iTunes, welcome. That is new as last week. So we're pretty excited about that. We're also monitoring the comments on YouTube. So if you're watching us live on YouTube, you can go ahead and send any comments through there. As usual, those are pretty much the best ways to get a hold of us. So send in your questions for our guest and everything. So tonight's guest, as I have not mentioned yet, is Jesse Tischauser. Did I say that right?
Tischauser, pretty close.
Tischauser, close enough. Cool. So once again, thank you to our sponsors, X8 Tactical, Keybar, and Molan Labe Forum. You can reach those guys all over the internet, x8tactical.com. keybar.us and molanlabeforum.com. We thank them very much because without them we would not be on iTunes right now, and they have done a great job. So we have our usual crew here. I think everybody seems to be in a good mood. Glenn's head is really big tonight. So Erica, how's everything going? I know Andy's at work, so let me introduce everybody. Erica, what's going on?
Not much. It's good to be in a good mood tonight, so yay! And my internet's working, so even better.
That's
Changed
good.
my spot in the house.
Hey, what's up, Andy? You're not a robot tonight.
No, I'm on government internet tonight, so I'm at work, and kids aren't hogging my internet, so that's good.
That's good. And are kind of new. This is their third week on the show. So we have Glenn and Leah. So Glenn, you are traveling, but you are still with us, which is awesome. So what is going on with you?
I'm coming from an extremely mediocre hotel down in Asheville, North Carolina. It's been interesting. I'm traveling a little bit for my other job, but still made it to the show.
Cool. And apparently, North Carolina makes your head bigger, right?
Yeah, I have a short cord on my headphones tonight, so I'm sitting awfully close.
Cool. And Leah, what is going on? You have the captain's chair tonight.
Hi guys, yeah, I'm in the big boy chair.
Exciting. Well, we're excited for tonight. Like I said, I keep saying that over and over, but I really am excited. I think tonight's going to be a great show. Why don't we get right started? go through a couple things, and then we'll get right into our interview with Jesse. So, Erica, what do you got to talk about? What do you want to start us off with?
It's very big stuff. Big, important news article that I have. Are you ready? Okay. Facebook, the dislike button is coming, okay? So last year we heard from Mark Zuckerberg that Facebook will not be doing a dislike button. He didn't want anybody, to promote all this disliking, negativity, blah, blah, blah. So that was last year. But now Facebook has announced it will create a dislike button. So get your fingers ready and let's, make some people feel bad. That's always fun.
Finally.
Yeah,
the internet's good for.
why not? Let's really encourage the bullying and more of the internet trolls. I know you're out there, and I'm sure that you can dislike all the stuff that I have up there. So I don't know.
I don't think this is going to be good for my moral compass.
I don't think it's going to be good for a lot of things. They're saying what they're saying in the article is that basically a lot of us have been getting too sensy, and America as a culture has this thing about positive thinking, and no matter what your situation, you should think positive, and everything's positive. You have disease, think positive. You're Poe, think positive, and it'll all change. So now they're saying that because we have this weird outlook on things, that it's kind of taking away and making other people who are having the same problems feel bad because they feel bad that they have, a terminal illness, and they see these other people who are like, yeah, I'm going to get through it, though, and they feel that they're weird because they're like, wow, I'm sitting on death's doorstep. However, I don't think Facebook is going to make a difference, okay? I think it's just really going to promote more internet bullying and stuff. I'm not trying to be overly sensy and be like, oh, everybody's equal and everybody gets a medal. But I really just think it's going to turn into a shit show. So
Curious how they're going to do it as far as, do you think it'll be an actual dislike button, or do you think it's going to be like a I heard that they were going to make it not like I don't like this topic or something, not like I don't like you. I'm not really sure. That's all I heard about it.
I think that's what they want it to be. Like, they want people to be like when people do post up something bad, like, oh, my car got broken into. That stinks. Nobody really wants to like that your car got broken into.
It depends on who it is.
Well, exactly, but that's what I'm saying. So I think that's where it's going to go. Like, somebody's going to post up a video or something of being like, oh, I just beat the shit out of this person or whatever. And, that could go either way now. You could like that, you could dislike that. So, I don't know. So, yeah, yay, dislike button.
There's got to be a reason that they're doing it, and the reason is always money. So I'm sure it's some way to monetize. So if you don't want to see something and you say dislike, they won't show you as much as that, but they'll show you more of what you want so you can spend more money, I think.
Oh, yeah,
Either that or it's to get their name back into thing. Facebook is dying. It's dead. Okay, all of us old geezers use it. None of the kids use it anymore. All the kids are saying Facebook is done. Instagram is even done. The new thing is Periscope. Okay?
What the hell is Periscope?
Oh,
yeah, see,
Glenn,
exactly. Glenn, do you know what Facebook is?
I have one, actually.
Oh, see, that's how we know it's
Only
dying.
recently.
Glenn
Yeah.
knows what it is.
So yeah, if Glenn and I started using Instagram about 3 months ago.
Instagram.
What did I
so-
just say? It's going downhill.
Snapchat, because you can't comment on. You just put whatever you want. And there's no comments. So they're all using Snapchat.
I thought Snapchats have to be sent directly to somebody.
You can also do groups too,
Like, I could send you a Snapchat of my balls, and you can't save it, right?
and you do it all the time.
No, he can save it. You'll just know he saved it.
Oh, it tells you that, hey, he grabbed this picture of my balls.
Yeah.
With
Grab your
Snapchat,
balls.
I think, too, you can send it to the whole internet. The whole of the internet, too, if you want to. If you really want to.
Eric from VF Gunrunner says I look French. Do I look French tonight?
You look like a mime.
I think you look like a pedophile.
Oh, thanks.
So French.
Well, that's a great segue to we are doing a crash and burn Movember. We're gonna raise money. We're gonna make Glenn shave completely down to nothing, or we're gonna do a mustache contest.
How complete?
Oh, I will totally do that.
Wait, do I get a say in this?
Yeah, you can grow a mustache.
You can grow a mustache if you want.
Let's see. In the 6 years since I got out of the Marines, I've had maybe 2 days with no beard.
Oh boy.
I've had 0 days with a beard.
It comes back fast and hard, though.
No.
Sorry.
And I chose those words on purpose.
All right. So before we get into what we're drinking and the interview, what's everybody think of this this hashtag I stand with Ahmed stuff?
It's Ahmed.
Ahmed with the what is it? That's the kid that did the clock, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that was a whole bunch of bullshit.
Well, I reposted what Paul Sharp wrote today, and Paul's a good friend of ours, and I thought it was probably the best way, the best thing that could have been said, and it basically was like, you know, the liberals out there, and I'm trying not to make this a party thing, but they're the ones that wanted this quick reaction to school stuff, and
Zero tolerance.
yeah, zero tolerance, and basically, you know, but they were the same people that kicked out for chewing a Pop-Tart in the shape of a gun.
Yep.
I don't know. I don't have much to say about it. I didn't really read too much into it.
I think the worst thing about it is the president has invited the kid to go to the White House. He gets suspended for 3 days for the zero tolerance, and his reward is he gets to go to the White House. Google has invited him to Google. Facebook has asked him to come, and he's invited to go to MIT now.
Yeah, I mean, the kid built a clock, and they way overreacted. It's ridiculous.
He built a clock in a briefcase, and it looks like a bomb.
It did look pretty sketchy.
Yeah.
Yeah, but do you think anything had to do with it that his name is Ahmed?
I don't know.
If little white Sam Smith comes in with a briefcase clock, do you think it has the same reaction?
Possibly not, but you know that's the way
No,
it is.
Sam chewed his Pop-Tart into a gun,
Yeah.
and that was the reaction.
Yeah, but white people like guns. But you know, it enters into the equation. As much as people don't want to talk about it, when you look at a little bit Arabic kid with a briefcase with a clock on it, that enters into your equation because that's the way we think. That's the way the media portrays all that. It's all in the back of our heads.
I guess it's just. You know, they institute things, they make them, you know, laws. We're going to do this across the board, you know, zero tolerance, like Andy said, and but he gets a pass. He gets a pass.
Well, what it is,
because they feel bad.
it's the complete other spectrum of what it is. It's so PC that they went completely the opposite direction. They swung the pendulum completely in the other direction.
Oh yeah, they're trying to cover up basically their mistake.
Right. So that is what it is. I think it's ridiculous and it's not newsworthy at all.
Both ends of it are ridiculous. What happened the first time and the reaction to it.
Yeah, I agree.
Hashtag send Ahmed to jail.
Well, if we had Trump, would he deport Ahmed?
He wouldn't know how to answer any
We
questions.
can't really deport him because I think he was born here. So
He wouldn't say
He'd
Ahmed.
he'd sidebar it and push it off and call somebody ugly or something. He
Definitely
was
would.
a mess last night.
Yeah, it was pretty
He was
bad.
the worst.
Yeah, he's good.
How embarrassing. Anywho.
Get on that because that
I
was.
think Sean Connery should be up there and stuff.
I agree.
He's not American, unfortunately.
Damn.
Yeah, WNY Hooligan said if it was a bomb and no one reacted for fear of being politically incorrect, the media and Obama administration would be all over it still if it had acted on something like that. So, all right. Well, moving on from that, tonight I'm drinking Four Roses bourbon. Again, the last week I was drinking the Jameson, but I still have the bottle of Caskmates here, and whatever's left of it, I'm going to pour it into this when I finish. I did spill most of this bourbon into a piece of cake I was eating, and it was still delicious, just in case anybody. The only other person that wrote something down is Glenn. Glenn, what are you drinking?
So I went out, since I'm down in Asheville, North Carolina, I went out and got a India Pale Ale. They call it the Shiva from Asheville Brewing Company. It's pretty good. So I figured I'd taste some of the local beer while I was down here.
That's cool. So it's local craft brew?
Yeah, it is. It's canned, which is actually pretty cool. It's still pretty cheap.
Yeah, I've heard that canning is the new way to do craft beer.
One of the guys at Lost Borough was telling me that is actually the better way to store beer, as long as it doesn't get warm in the can.
Yeah. Yeah. Erica, what are you drinking tonight?
Who?
You, Erica.
Oh, sorry. The internet. Okay, sorry. I'm drinking the cinnamon horchata from Blue Moon. You can't see it because it's in my cool little beer koozie, but I really like it. It tastes a lot like cinnamon.
Who made that beer koozie?
Fight and Flight. Fight and Flight. I can read. I can read. Beer's
Andy,
good.
you're not drinking water tonight?
I'm drinking tea at work. That's it.
How about you, Jesse? You drinking any beer?
Yeah, some leftover something or other in the fridge here at work. Last of the last.
Nice. Leah, how about you? Are you drinking the Raging Bitch?
No, I'm not drinking the Raging Bitch. I, unfortunately, was the victim of some excellent advertising. Can you guys see how nice the label is on this bottle?
Ooh, that is
beautiful.
nice.
Right? It's really nice. It's not really good scotch.
No.
It's 12-year scotch.
It's
12-year single malt scotch that tastes like that 3-year-old blended scotch that they're like, it's 3 years old because it has to in order to be scotch. That's what it tastes like. It's baby scotch. Masquerading as good scotch.
You're such a scotch snob. Snob.
It wasn't cheap, too. I fell for the label.
That's a nice label.
What's the name
Really
of it
nice
so we
label.
don't fall victim?
It's Aberfeldy Highland Single Malt Scotch Whiskey.
The label's cool because the label looks all like retro and stuff.
The label's really cool, and it came in like a box, and the box is beautiful. It's like really nicely printed on nice paper. I fell for the advertising. Shouldn't have done it.
Nice. Didn't know it was going to be awful with a box like that.
Right? Exactly. I assumed it would be good.
Cool. All right. Well, now that we've hit the ground running with the show, let's get right into our interview here. We've already got a bunch of questions popping up on Google, so let's get started with Jesse here. So, Jesse, give us a little bit of your background and your bio. I know you posted it in the thing here. It's kind of for us to follow along, but people want to hear from you. Will you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Well, I grew up in Wisconsin. I now live in Oklahoma. I was in the Army National Guard for 9 years back before being in the Army was cool. Put myself through college, got a mechanical engineering degree, graduated, started shooting 3-gun about 2009, decided I liked doing all that competition shooting stuff, and tried to make not a living of it, but a semi-pro type deal out of it, and I've been doing that for about 4 years now.
Cool. How many events do you usually go to each year?
Probably about 15 as I travel to out of state, and there's 2 or 3 here that are in Oklahoma, so between 12 and 18, something like that.
What you shoot in when you go to like the pro-ams and stuff? You shoot in the pro class normally?
Oh yeah, definitely. There's actually a TV show on the Sportsman Channel called 3-Gun Nation, and that kind of is the actual definition of a pro now. You have to qualify to get on there. You shoot your way on 1 year, and then you qualify and you get into it. And actually, we're doing the qualifier here in another 2 weeks for the guys to get on the show for next season.
Oh, very cool. I actually know the guys that own that nation pretty well. We were going to do some work with them for Erica's company making stickers.
Nice. Yeah, they're a good bunch of dudes.
Yeah, they seem like
Pete Brown.
Yeah, Pete. I actually ended up. It was funny. I was at the Brownells it was the ARFCOM one at the time, but ended up just happened at that little Mexican bar up the street or whatever, and got drunk with those guys, and they were just good to talk to.
Yeah, they're good dudes.
So that's cool. So are you shooting like tactical class or open class?
I actually can shoot it all. I've got the cool thing about having 5 different divisions is you get to buy 5 different sets of gear and guns and ammo. So like last weekend at a match, I shot heavy optics, which is basically 308 rifle with all your regular 9mm pistol and semi-automatic shotgun. There's a limited class division where you shoot red dot or iron sights. There's open division where anything you can stick on your gun to make it go faster and hold more bullets, you can do that. Like I said, all those 5 divisions are an excuse for me to spend another $5,000 on guns and gear to get it set up.
Yeah, that's cool. What typically where do you place as far as the different events you go to?
Well, it just depends. I mean, there's a lot of good shooters out there, so there's only 1 or 2 guys that you can really count on as guys that have a legitimate chance to win every time they're there. So it just depends what match you're at. I mean, the Pro Series this year, I got my ass handed to me and got bumped out in like the 2nd round. So I don't get to shoot for $50,000. But last weekend I was up in Missouri and I won my division there. So
that's awesome.
Well, I usually do pretty well at the shotgun matches. I've won one of those this year, finished 10th in another one. So.
As far as shooting goes, are you consider yourself more of a rifle guy or shotgun guy or handgun?
I would have to say shotgun. That's kind of my, I don't know, I've enjoyed that gun a lot. It's very diverse between the slugs, the buckshot, the different chokes, the aerial targets versus stationary targets. You can do a lot of things with that shotgun I mean, rifle's kind of, shoots 1 bullet straight as,
right.
Same thing with a pistol.
It seems like there's a lot of the people that win via shotgun, it's a lot in the loading. Is that something you would agree with?
Well, it definitely used to be. In the last 2 or 3 years, the shotgun loading techniques have really changed. They have now what they call a quad load or a load 2, whereas back in the day you'd have traditional caddies stacked on your belt like law enforcement would use now. You grab 4 shells and you put 1 in at a time, and it took a lot of dexterity with your fingers to get the gun to load fast. And the goal was always to be able to load 1 shell per second. Now with the load 2 and the quad load, you can load 8 shells in 4 seconds. So it's cut the time in half. And the big thing is the learning curve is really slow. I had a couple weeks ago, I had a friend over at my house. We were working on a shotgun, and my wife was sitting there watching us getting drunk. And I said, "All right, here, try to load the shotgun." Never tried it before, and she's got long fingernails and all that good stuff. And she loaded it right up. So it's really changed the game. It's a lot easier for new shooters to get involved because it's easy to load that shotgun.
Yeah, I think I have some of the AP Customs. Aaron makes a couple of the double stacked loaders like that, right?
Yep. AP Customs, one of the big ones out there that makes that stuff. Correct.
Yeah, he had given me some to write up some reviews and stuff, and they ended up being real good. We demoed them on some of our videos and stuff. So I'm glad to see that it's still making advances. I see the gun world a lot like and I know you're into cars and stuff too. So I see a lot of 3-gun stuff is very much like racing. You know what I mean? They're always finding better ways to do it.
For sure, that shotgun loading was a thorn in the side of the sport. Unfortunately, the way we load now isn't very tactical, so it's separated us even more from the tactical side of things, which is definitely something that isn't good for the sport.
Yeah, I think there's a certain type of people out there that are saying that it does nothing to help you in a defensive situation, but you gotta look at it what it is. It's a game.
Yeah, definitely. I used to, like I said, I was in the Army for 9 years, and I used to shoot. That's why part of the reason I joined the Army. I like guns, and I thought I was a good shot until I started shooting competitions, and these guys that are teachers and lawyers and doctors and just regular Joes that enjoy shooting just handed me my ass, and I was like, okay, I gotta. This is for real. These guys take this serious. It's their weekend racing. So it may not make you better tactics, but it definitely makes you a better shooter. I mean, we've got active duty special forces guys that shoot in the Pro Series. We've got ex-SEALs. We've got law enforcement SWAT guys, and those guys are some of the best law enforcement military shooters in the world. So
yeah, we got one question on the Google for you. It says from George D. Jesse, the new 3GN format, is that better for the shooter or better for TV? Will it go back to the old format of shooting matches for points across the U.S.?
That's a good question. There's the show Three Gun Nation's been on since I think 2009, and every year it's changed a little bit. I mean, they're continually searching for ways to make competitive shooting enjoyable for someone that may not even own a firearm to be flipping through the channels and see this show and stop and watch it, right, and become a 2A fanatic. So the last season they actually kind of changed things kind of drastically, where we had the Pro Series. And rather than just have a match and we all competed like we normally would do and the best man wins, they actually kind of turned the tides to a little more of the reality-based TV type stuff where we would shoot one scenario or one stage, and then the bottom 2 or 3 guys would go to an elimination round. And the lowest guy or lowest 2 guys would get voted off the island based on their time. So it added some instantaneous gratification to the viewer, like, okay, that guy sucks, he's out. And I like that guy, he won, he gets to move on. Right. And it's really the format is identical to what American Ninja Warrior is. You know, so you kind of they give a little background on the shooter, so you're like, oh, I like that guy. He likes cars and guns. I like that guy's got kids. I like a family man, so on and so forth. So you can associate with the shooters a little bit. Then you see them perform, and they show a little of our personalities, and you kind of hopefully form a bond with shooters and cheer them on as they come and go on the show.
Yeah. Well, that's cool. What who are your sponsors for this year? I'm assuming the season's kind of coming to an end, but who are your sponsors for 2015?
Man, I've got a bunch of sponsors. My main sponsors are Optics Planet, Rhino Arms, J. Dewey Rods, and here, look at my shirt here, Freedom Munitions. But I've got a bunch: Chamber View, Infinity Firearms, shot for Stoger last year, real good shotgun company. Nordic Components, you name it. My website, jessetischauser.com, has a list of all of them.
Ah, very cool. What so what do you do what do you like to do outside of the gun world then, as far as shooting three-gun? Like I said, I see a lot of your car pictures on Instagram and stuff. So what are your hobbies outside of it?
Well, my wife and I don't have any children, so we're kind of the dual income, no kids, the dinks, you know. So when I'm not forcing her to travel around to obscure locations shooting guns, we usually go to beaches, and we actually just bought a house back in Wisconsin where we grew up on a lake. So this summer we spent a lot of time there remodeling and doing some stuff. So love the beach, love the water, just love the sun, hate the cold weather. So we won't be in Wisconsin come December, that's for sure.
Yeah, well, we won't see you come visit up here then in New York in the winter.
No, definitely not. We did that for Christmas one time. We had to do the old Times Square in Christmas. Man, that was the biggest mistake we ever made for Christmas. Talk about people in freezing ass cold.
Yeah. So, well, is there anything else you want to shout out or plug as far as how can people get a hold of you if they've got questions or want to get into the sport?
Man, I'm probably the most readily available shooter in the Three Gun Nation Pro Series. I do Facebook like nonstop. I probably admin like 6 different pages of shooting stuff. I'm on Instagram a bunch and do the Twitter thing, you name it. So Facebook and Instagram are probably the places I spend most time, but I've got my website, and there's I think my email address is on there as well.
Cool. What I know we said that your favorite firearm as far as shooting that you like, but what you shoot a Rhino. It says you want to talk about the Rhino Arms RA-15. Now that's specifically a three-gun rifle.
Yeah, it's a purpose-built three-gun rifle. I was just got hooked up with Rhino Arms this year, and they said, "Man, what kind of gun you want to shoot?" And I'm like, "Well, I want to shoot the best thing you can make." But that's not what always sells the most as far as the sport goes. The sport's growing a lot right now, and I was shooting for a different company last year, and they had a real basic entry-level gun. It had some three-gun features, but it didn't have all the stuff that I would normally put into a gun. And man, there were so many new shooters coming in going, "Man, I love this rifle. I love, thanks for shooting it. Show me how to set it up better and change it and make it work right." So I said, "Man, let's make a gun that is more entry-level based, because most of Rhino stuff is, $2,000 plus, $3,000 high-end carbon fiber, low mass. I mean, race guns."
Right.
And so what we did is we tried to dumb the gun down as much as we could without removing all the awesome stuff that they do. It's still got a carbon fiber tube, but it's got their entry-level carbon fiber tube. Still has their nice 3-pound trigger. You can get it without the low-mass bolt carrier, which adds a few $100s to the price tag. So you can get the thing kind of a few upgrades from a basic M4, and it's about $1,500 retail to get into the game. So it's a huge bargain for what you get, and that was kind of my collaboration with them, is let's try to do something that the entry-level shooters can like and follow.
Yeah, that's cool. I'm checking it out right now. It seems like pretty reasonable as far as for somebody to get into three-gun with the rifle.
For sure. I mean, when I first started in 2009, it was like a $3,000 JP, or I think DPMS had some imitation 3-gun rifle that they put the nomenclature on, and it was, really wasn't what you wanted. So
Yeah.
I shot what I had in the closet until I could afford the $2,800 JP, and that's what I did.
Right. Yeah, it definitely seems like a lot of people just want to get into it at first, but it's easy to just sort of go out of control with spending.
Oh man, I was just counting up how many shotgun caddies I had the other day, and I think I had like $700 worth. Yeah, that's not conducive to a guy that just owns a Glock 17 and a 870 pump right now.
Right. Yeah, it's tough for somebody to get into it. What would you suggest if somebody wanted to at least get into it, to experience, to get started? Really, what should they budget? What should they look? What should they expect to spend?
Well, if you actually want to, I mean, you can show up to a 3-gun match with just 3 guns, rifle, pistol, shotgun, and no gear on your belt. Hopefully you'll have a holster for your pistol, because you might not have a pistol that a holster you can borrow. But 9 times out of 10, there's going to be somebody on your squad or at the match that's like, here, I've got an extra caddy, or I've got an extra AR mag pouch, or get you hooked up so you can have them shoot the match, or they'll just let you shoot after everyone's finished so you can try it, see if you like it before you go and invest thousands of dollars. But entry level wise, you can start with a Glock M&P, $500 pistol. You're looking at probably $300-400 in stuff on your belt, between the magazine pouches, the holsters, the extra mags. And then rifle, I mean, you can shoot 3-gun with anything. You can start with a $550 Bushmaster, whatever their entry level, or DPMS Sportical type rifle. That'll work just fine. And then the shotgun, you've got like the Stoeger M3000 is very popular now, and then that Mossberg 930 Jerry Miculek model. So you're looking at probably $2,500 to $3,000 to get all the stuff.
Yeah, that's what I started, and I have one of the JM Pro 930s that I took all the way apart because I was going to start modifying it, and then I just left it apart. But Andy, you got anything to add, or you got any questions for Jesse?
Yeah, how long are they going to run this? Run your commercials on Stag Arms?
I don't know.
All the time still. I mean,
hopefully forever. Hopefully forever.
You're not with them anymore, right?
No, I'm not. No, that's what I used to shoot for. Yeah, I mean, I wish I got a royalty every time that thing aired, but
I know all the time I see you on there. You're still even on their website too. Yeah,
part of the reason we're not shooting for them anymore is just, I mean, they make nothing but AR-15s, and last year was probably the worst year in a long time for AR-only manufacturers. So they were a big sponsor in the show and a big sponsor for myself and my teammate, and they had to step away from all of it. So I bet they don't have the extra coin to spend on a new commercial about stags. So
yeah, well, they really got you out in the spotlight, though. I mean, every commercial they were sponsoring, great. And you were on there.
Stag was a great gig, man. They were a big supporter of 3-gun and a supporter of me, so it was fun. We did a commercial for those guys, and can't ask for more than that.
Yeah, that's all. I don't have much, Mike.
Are you, Jesse, you going to be at SHOT Show?
Yeah, typically there. I'll usually be in the Rhino booth. Who else booth do I usually do? Freedom Munitions has a big booth downstairs. Rhino Arms is up on the first floor there by all the big stuff. And then I'll usually bebop around between the other ones and that sort of thing.
Cool. We'll make sure to catch up with you. I know we're throwing a party this year, so we'll have to have you out at it for sure.
Yeah, that's definitely a good way to get my attention.
For sure. Cool. Well, let's again, people can get a hold of you on your website or find you on social media. You're on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. So appreciate you staying on the show, and you have just jump in on anything else we're gonna do. And if anybody else has any questions for Jesse, send us through Google Plus, and we'll pop them up as we can. So thank you again for coming on.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Absolutely. So before we jump into guns and gear, I'm going to catch up on a few of these questions. Joe, who's always watching and listening, says NYC doesn't know winter like upstate, which is the truth. And Beeve, who is a good friend of ours from Instagram, says, yeah, good guys, spend some time with them at SHOT at Palmetto. I'm assuming he's talking about the Rhino Arms guys and AP Customs. Mike Ratowski, who's usually listening to us, wants to know what appendix holsters we like. For myself, I've had Crossbreed, and I'm really excited to try out this M3 Tactical Kydex for the Glock 43. Andy, what do you like for appendix?
I make my own.
Okay.
Show off.
Oh. I make them, and I use them, and I like them.
Glenn, how about you? Do you carry appendix ever?
I just started carrying appendix. Andy actually made me one maybe a month and a half, 2 months ago. I'm still getting used to it, but I'm really enjoying appendix. I was carrying crossbreed for a long time, but the appendix is really growing on me.
Yeah, and I still like the way that that one stealth gear we tried out felt. It was super comfy, but my only downside is that it rode really high. It was very high, and so it was tough to actually wear and do all kinds of stuff like that. So. WNY Hooligans says that Lee is a snob, and that he feels like I'm doing something wrong if he doesn't drink while watching the show, and that's true. You are wrong if you're not drinking.
Why is Lee a slob or a snob?
For the Scotch.
Oh.
Hashtag Scotch snob. Oh, while we're on, shout out to Always Outnumbered and my girl Vanna, hashtag basic bitch. I know she's watching. All right, let's get into guns and gear. So I've done a whole lot of talking. Andy, do some talking. What do you got for this week, guns and gear?
Well, thank you, Glenn, for introducing me to these the Hill People gear. I've had a Tad Gear backpack for a long time. What I wanted was like an everyday carry backpack, and I got the Tad Gear Lightspeed, which is like their smallest bag that they offered then. They're a little pricey, so luckily I went onto the USN network, and the good guys over there just will buy everything that says Tad Gear. It doesn't matter what. So they purchased that, and I went over to Hill People Gear, and I bought this. It's the how do you pronounce it, Glenn? The Terra Chaka.
Terra Humera.
Yeah, Terra.
It's named
Humera.
after an Indian tribe in the Southwest.
It's real lightweight and small. It's got what is it, like 750 cubic inch, which is small. I wanted something small, but the thing about this is the strap system can go on any of their packs or this pack, or take it off of this pack and use it as like just a compression on a plate carrier. And the thing, you can carry as much weight, and this thing will hold it like a mother. I mean, it's got like 3-inch straps on it. I like it so far.
Yeah, my favorite thing about those is the zipper that's laid out kind of like a duffel bag.
Yeah, it's like right down the middle like a duffel bag, and easy to get to everything. Open up. I have. There's nothing in it. There's no pockets or anything, which I kind of like because you can. What I do, I compartmentalize with different packages. So I have like my first aid package. I have other packages, and it's a lot easier to organize with it just wide open instead of everything on the bottom and sorting through it.
What did you have before? Because you said you just told me today you sold something.
Yeah, the Tad Gear Fast Pack. The Fast Pack Lightspeed. That's which one it was. Which is a great backpack, but it was heavy. It was a little bit big for what I wanted. So this one, I'm gonna try it out.
Yeah. That's nothing. For guns and gear, I haven't put up a picture of it yet, but today I installed the SSVI TYR trigger here, and it's a cool trigger as far as everything goes. It's awesome, but you had to essentially destroy the factory trigger just to get it in. Remember, Glenn, we were playing with trying to get the pins out and everything. To get the trigger off the trigger bar.
The 5-handed 2-man operation.
Yeah, well, not really, but you basically got to punch it through and break the stock trigger out.
Oh, you gotta break off.
Yeah, it's a blind roll pin. So.
Oh yeah, on the transfer bar.
Yep, and Damon actually has a pretty good video out of it. It's pretty funny if you check out SSVI's YouTube. And thankfully, he followed me back on Instagram finally, so we're friends again. So, so I put his trigger on today. It feels good. I don't have the slide back together yet, but it's actually a very, very nice looking trigger, and it's probably one of the only CNC billet aluminum triggers for the 43 right now. I think. So, Glenn, what do you got for guns and gear? I like your answer here in the notes.
Oh, you like what I put down there? Because I'm traveling for work, I traveled light. I just did a carry-on. I have no gear with me at all because of the TSA. Had to go through a little body scanner, so I didn't get to bring anything down with me.
Did you get felt up? Let's talk a little bit about that.
No, I didn't get to get patted down. I missed that opportunity, but I definitely got scanned, and they put me on the puffer machine on one of them. Have you ever done the puffer machine?
No, I refuse to.
Yeah, no, they puffed me, and I'm always afraid that thing's gonna go off because of how many guns and ammo and stuff I handle and shoot all the time.
Can you not travel with guns for work, or you just don't like to travel with guns?
No, I do like to travel with guns. This was just a short work trip, and I just did a carry-on only for this trip. But usually I do carry, if I check a bag, I have a little kit where I carry a handgun and a flashlight and knife and all that.
Nice.
Yeah, when I traveled like for SHOT Show or trainings or whatever, it's not awful to have to travel with the with the Pelican case or something, but it definitely can be a pain in the butt.
Yeah, I've done it probably dozen and a half time travel with guns. It's not that bad as long as you do your 10 minutes of Google research and figure out what they want from you when you get to the airport.
Right. Gary, you got anything for guns and gear tonight?
Guns and...
What is going on?
She has a dog.
That was not me. No, I don't have anything for guns and gear. I have only girly stuff. I have.
You got some new shoes.
Well, that's girly stuff. I didn't know if you wanted me to like keep it with like guns and like real like gear.
I'm
like,
interested.
Or like.
Ballerina, let's hear it.
Well, I got new point shoes, which just came in. They took a while to come in because they don't make my size. So they were like, "Oh, there goes Andy. He had to go save the day." Bye, Andy.
Did you have to go work?
Yeah, I think so.
Either that or he went.
Somebody.
Either that or he went to go to sweet firefighter gear.
Yeah, he was bored. But yeah, so I got new shoes. They came in. I put them on my feet last night, and I have to sew them. I'm not really excited about sewing them. I just sewed my friend's point shoes, and it just take forever. But I have to have them ready for Monday, so I'll get those ready. And the other thing that I wanted to, or maybe just ask a question to some of my lady friends out there. So Mike has been on this big kick. Like, there's a lot of times that I'm pretty girly, like with the whole ballet nonsense and clothes and shoes and stuff, but I kind of missed the mark on nails. So Mike's been like, you should paint your nails. You should paint your nails. So I got nail polish, and all it does is chip. Like, can anybody recommend a good nail polish? I hate painting my nails, but I do it for my husband, and the less I have to do it, the better. So if anybody has anything, please say something.
Well, what I use is, I'm just kidding.
Oh, no, really? Oh, come on. I thought you were going to give me a hint.
Oh, you should see Leah's bucket of nail polish.
Just Krylon clear coat them.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's what I was like. I can just do a clear coat, but I just wanted to do. I don't want to do like a base color and then a clear coat. Who got time for that? I don't got time for that.
Can you plasti dip nails?
I don't know. That's what I'm asking. I'm not like, this is where I'm like lacking in the girl department. So I just went to like,
because then I have to bake them in the oven for 3 hours.
Okay, well, we're out.
You got to think of them like a wall. They have to be clean for you. You got a nail polish remover them before you put the nail polish on.
All right,
that
moving
is the
on.
key.
Even though I don't like put nail polish on? Shut up,
I
Andy.
think your internet's messing
Yeah,
up. I can't
no,
hear
you gotta even on clean nails, you have to nail polish remover before you put the polish on.
I
Sorry.
didn't know that.
How do we mute the girls? Is there a button to mute the
You know,
girls?
I listen to all your boring poop
Wait, I
talk
got my
and
gear.
stuff.
I got my gear.
Oh, here we go. Yeah, Leah's got a really important one here.
Yeah.
There you go.
Maybe I'll paint his
Anybody
nails.
That can't see what Leah's holding up. It's like a mannequin's hand, and she put down all of the fingers except one.
The most important.
Okay, much more important. Glenn, tell us how rifle barrels are made.
Well, I mean, we'll skip right into that great segue you got there, Mike.
You like it?
Rifle barrels, yeah, it was great. So this is just kind of the entry into my I'm going to do a couple weeks on all the different types of barrels and stuff. But we're going to go, this is kind of the brush. There's 3 main ways that modern rifle barrels are made. Your 3 ones, you've got button rifled, cut rifled, and hammer forged. They all have their advantages, they all have their disadvantages. If I put 3 people in a room, one would tell you that the hammer forged is the best, one would tell you that cut's the best, and one would tell you that button is the best. You can get match grade precision barrels of any of those 3 styles. Modern barrels are actually kind of a magical thing in that they will outshoot 99.9% of the shooters in the world if you buy a good quality one. But the basic difference is they all start with a round piece of steel that we drill a long hole in, and we ream that hole out to a certain diameter. So a cut rifle barrel is probably the oldest school way that we still make barrels, in that it is literally we pass a little tiny cutter down the entire length of the barrel that is turned as it goes down, and it takes a little tiny half thousandths, quarter thousandths cut every time. Takes a long time to cut a barrel, but it also gives you the most control over how that barrel is manufactured. So a lot of people will claim that's going to be your most accurate barrel.
Cut rifling?
Yeah, that would be cut rifling. So if I remember correctly, Schillen is one of the biggest companies that does cut rifling for some of their barrels. They don't do them all. Cut rifling is dying out somewhat because of the time it takes to make a barrel. You're talking 6-8 hours to cut the grooves in a rifle, and then after that you're talking about you got to hand polish and all that. The next kind of rifle is going to be your most common rifle. That's what they call button rifling. Button rifling is similar to cut in that we pass a tool down the barrel and rotate it as we go. But basically the tool, instead of being a little tiny tooth that takes little tiny cuts, it looks like a little tiny gear, and it actually, instead of cutting metal, displaces the metal. So they're usually made of carbide or some other super hard material, and it actually displaces the metal, and they pass larger and larger ones. But you're talking 20 minutes to make a barrel versus 6-8 hours for a cut rifle barrel. So a lot of your production guns come with a button barrel. That's not to be said that you can't make a good button barrel. It's just it's the cheapest and most efficient way to make a barrel.
What are the barrels that
your last type? We've used a couple different. We've used hammer forged and we've used button barrels for most of it. It's really tough to get a barrel in an AR platform.
Yeah, typically.
What brand?
Typically, we see a lot of the cold hammer forged, but what are those two Bartleans we just got? What were they?
Those Bartleans are actually cut.
Oh, okay.
Bartleans are cut barrels, and those are very low production. The guy stands there. That's the other thing with a cut barrel is you have to have a guy that knows what he's doing, standing over the machine, watching it, and making sure that it's going and running well.
Yeah.
Whereas with a button, it's a button barrel. A much less experienced guy can run that machine. The last type is a hammer forged barrel. That's done a little bit differently, where they actually drill the hole in the barrel larger than the bore. So your bullet would actually just drop right through the barrel at that point. And what they do is they machine what they call a mandrel, and it looks, if you took a rifle barrel and you poured a bunch of hot lead down it and you cast the inside of the barrel, pulled that out, that's what a mandrel looks like. It's the hollow part of the inside of a barrel.
Yeah.
And they stick that down the hole, and then they put it into a machine. And these machines cost upwards of $250,000 to $500,000, and they actually put 10 to 20,000 or 10 to 20 tons of pressure on the steel and force it down on the mandrel, and then they pull the mandrel out. The advantage to this style is you can actually form the chamber at the same time you form the rifling. So you'll see your hammer forged barrels more often in, you're seeing them a lot more in AR-15 manufacturers. You're seeing them a lot more in the kind of the military and police style production guns. And the reason you see that is when they force the metal down onto the mandrel, it actually hardens the metal on the inside of the barrel, so you get better barrel life. There is production control issues that they have to address to make them as accurate. So generally, this is just a general, that they are not as precise as a cut or a button barrel. That being said, there's companies like FN that can make military sniper rifles with hammer forged barrels. Sacco out of Finland does the same thing. They just take their time and kind of do it a little bit differently than everybody else. Your button barrels are definitely going to be your less expensive barrels. Again, they can be just as good as any other barrel. Your cut barrels, you're going to see more in your custom bolt actions and that kind of stuff, and you're really going to pay for the time and the skill that's
We got a question. What about
well, those are the three most common.
Polygonal?
So that gets into it.
Barrels with many lives?
No, the
polyamorous barrels?
the polygonal rifles. That gets into, so that can get into, that gets into a style of rifling. And I'm actually going to do rifling next week, but I'll answer the question. Polygonal rifling is a shape of rifling where you don't actually have grooves. Instead, you have flats that rotate the bullet. Glock uses polygonal rifling. A few other manufacturers do. It's less common in high-velocity guns like rifles, where it can have some understabilizing effects. It was very, very popular back in Civil War time period for lead-cast bullets, which is interesting because Glock suggests that you never shoot lead out of their polygonal rifling. But it's just a different style of rifling, and it falls into kind of like the 5R versus traditional rifling versus mid-for rifling and all the other different. But polygonal, it doesn't have what they would consider a traditional cut groove. So those are almost always cut with a button or displaced with.
Somebody asked about gain twist rifling. I don't think I've ever heard of that, but do you want to save that kind of stuff for next week? Good talk, Glenn.
Somebody's watching porn in the room next to him.
Yep, definitely watching porn in the room next to him.
So, I'll quick, but I'll get into it next week a little. It starts, so everybody knows you have a 110 twist barrel. It's 10 inches. Gain twist would start at one twist rate.
All right, Glenn. We're going to save it for next week.
Cutting out.
Yeah, we'll save it for next week, okay? Mike Ratowski will save the game for next week. So I just lost the question that Joe asked, but I wanted to bring up that. Has anybody seen that new Silencer Co. pistol? That thing is awesome. A Maxim.
I think Jeff
cool.
had it on his Instagram, didn't you?
Yeah, I was sharing it around. I obviously wasn't at the awesome whatever that thing is that they're showing off to
yeah, they were like
or whatever it is.
On a boat or something.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out how to get them to invite onto a yacht to shoot Silencer Co.'s new stuff. You know.
How about just let's all rent a fucking boat and we'll go shoot stuff in the water. That's how
I'm on a boat. What's that?
We had to dress up 6 mannequins in Haji outfits and put them on that boat. What was that all about? They had Haji's dressed up in a little tiny dink, and they're shooting a silent block-looking thing at them. It was awesome.
One other question we got on the Facebooks was from Zach. Said TSA locks. Talk about what locks and how many. Zach, when I traveled a lot with a Pelican, it was just one lock on each end of the case. Keyed lock, you open it when you go to there, you show them, you sign off that everything's unloaded, lock it up, and I've only ever been called down once for TSA to ask me to open it, but usually it goes right through, no problems. I always take apart my guns and lock them up in the case in pieces, basically. Glenn, can you comment on that?
I've actually been told by TSA not to use. Yeah, I've been told not to use TSA locks by the TSA.
Yeah, definitely not.
Because
No.
Because they said that the baggage handlers have gotten those keys. Oh yeah, I use either master locks or something better, but they told me don't use those.
Yeah.
I've got a set of 4 master locks on my full-size Patriot case, and I put 4 of them on there because my buddy had 2 one time or 3. And when we got to the final destination, his gun case was open, and it was like about to lose some of his $100 magazines and stuff like that. So.
Oh wow.
And I carry an extra set of keys like in one suitcase on me, and so I don't have to cut locks. And one time I flew out of Bend, Oregon, which is a really, really tiny airport, where the TSA has nothing to do but look at your stuff. And it was like 4 in the morning, earliest flight out, that sort of thing, because you got to fly forever to get back anywhere from there. And I put headphones on and started watching a movie. And they were calling my name, wanting to open my gun case and do whatever they do inside there. And I didn't hear them, so we're sitting on the plane, like everyone's on ready to go, and this woman comes back to my seat. Are you Jeffy Tischauser? And I'm like, yeah. You need to come with us. And I'm like, you got to be shitting me. They took me off the plane leaves, and I go and open my case for 5 seconds, and they're like, okay, you can catch the next flight out here in 5 hours. So don't put your headphones on until you are sure that case has been checked by TSA. Especially the smaller the airport, the worse. I mean, you fly to Las Vegas or Nashville or something like that sees guns a lot. Don't worry about it. But small airports they'll go full frontal probe on you.
Yeah, I've actually watched my Pelican case from the airplane I was on bounce across the tarmac because they were just tossing it around too. So definitely invest in a good case.
Yeah.
The one of the funniest stories I have, Mike Andrews reminded me of it, was several years ago. I think it was the first time we were ever flying out to SHOT Show. One of our first times. We had the full auto gun in a can, and it was one of the only times that Rochester Airport asked me to come down and open it. So I walked down, I opened up my thing for TSA, and they're looking inside, and they're looking through it. And mind you, I've got a machine gun, a suppressor, and a few PMags. That's it in this whole case. So this TSA guy picks up the PMag, goes, you guys, you know these are illegal. I go, that paperwork right there next to the machine gun is my FFL. I'm good to go. And I'm like, you really noticed nothing else other than these PMags. And to me, that's hilarious.
I've actually had to unload it and show clear in the airport. I'm like, ma'am, you really want me to pull this pistol out of here and like show you that there's no bullets in it, right? And then another woman walks up like, no, we don't do that anymore because someone actually fired their pistol.
I actually, I think it was Phoenix Airport or one of the airports, I had my gun still on me, not in the case. And when I got up to show the Delta people that everything was clear, I pulled it right out of my pants, unloaded it, and stuck it in the case, like as discreetly as possible. But that's my heart was racing for that one. That's for sure.
Yeah, some airports you can't carry a loaded pistol even into that part of the airport, can you?
No, I don't think. Well,
Phoenix was the place where that guy was walking around with his AR or his AK not too long ago, wasn't it?
Yeah,
it's legal as long as you're not past security.
Yeah, I think federal law is as long as you're not in the secured area, it's okay. But who knows? You don't want to draw any more attention to yourself than you need to. But all right, cool. Well, let's once again, I'm gonna plug our sponsors, X8 Tactical, Keybar.us, and Lave Forum. Thank you again, guys. We really appreciate it. We're gonna jump right into. Oh, Jesse's got a Keybar right there.
I'm rocking the Keybar, man. I got Instagram. Those guys got all those cool pictures up there. Had to have one.
Hell yeah, Mike's a good
got
friend.
two.
stuff. We've known Mike for quite some time, and he was very generous to come on and help out the show. So I'm going to skip over my news topic real quick and let Andy do his medical prepping, and then I'll get right back into my news topic.
Okie dokie. Well, a lot of people shy away from one of the most obvious ways to better themselves in firearms, in the firearms industry, or substitute that for any industry there is, fireman, policeman, anything. I call it the 3 pillars of fitness and survival. The first thing is obviously go talk to your doctor, ask him if it's okay if you do any exercise, blah, 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 all that boring stuff. Once you get your approval from your mother, the first pillar we like to talk about is endurance. Being able to perform well for a long period of time. I'm sure Jesse knows all about endurance in some of these stages. I see him running from one side to the other. But what you need to do is you just need to start doing something. Start by walking. Gradually go from there, walking longer distance, walk to the store, throw on a backpack, put a couple books in there, go to the store, fill up your backpack, and walk home. You'll notice the difference in weeks. You're going to start running if you want. Set a goal. Like, say, I can walk 5 miles with a 25-pound backpack. Make that your goal for next month and see if you can hit that. And after that, you can, set another goal. But setting goals is the best way to judge how you're doing, and it gives you an extra step to do it with. The next pillar is flexibility. So there's endurance, flexibility. The best way not to be injured is to be flexible. Stretching, touching your toes, starting slow, exercising, taking a class like yoga. Guys are taking yoga all the time. Girls take it, but they have what's that hot yoga now? The Bikram hot yoga, where it just sweats everything out of you, gets your muscles going. What's that, Mike?
My pillar of fitness is yoga pants. I get a really big pillar of fitness for yoga pants.
And that'll get into strength later, but yeah, it's not just for girls. Yoga is freaking awesome, and it's hard as hell. I started one yoga. I did the P90X yoga, the X yoga, and that will kick your ass. I guarantee it. The next pillar is strength. Mike's favorite pillar, the strength in his pants. Start out small with body workouts, push-ups, crunches, pull-ups, and really important, squats. You don't have to go out. You don't have to spend $100 a month on a gym if you don't want to. You can use stuff around the house. You can use ammo cans, paint cans, jugs of water. I made these really cool. I went to Home Depot and I got bags of sand. The kids' sandbox sand. They're like $4 for these. I think they were 30-pound bags. And just wrap some duct tape around them and use them as medicine balls. It's a cheap way to get weights. And then you can gradually go up, get kettlebells, demon bells, weights at home. And then after that, if you want to join a gym or a support group like CrossFit, just go slowly. If you haven't done anything in years, don't go out, do CrossFit. It'll kick your ass. You're not going to want to go back. You're going to be sore. Just go slow. And if you work on these 3 pillars, I guarantee that your speed, your accuracy, and your power are going to increase in every part of your life, not just shooting. What do you guys think?
Yes.
It's interesting you said that. I was actually reading an article that was published back in the mid-'90s, and a guy was talking about offhand shooting, and he shot a bunch of groups offhand, and then he did a 10-week workout program, which basically he did the whole 3. He did some running, he did some stretching, he did some workout, and then he went back and he did the same test for offhand shooting, and his groups shrunk by almost 50%. Just by working out, and that was irregardless of all of his other practice for shooting that he normally did. It had a bigger impact on his shooting than anything else he could do.
Jesse, did you do anything special or no?
He's muted.
Now, actually, I don't do a lot of working out. I mean, I've got an actual gym in my house, but I usually just watch my wife walk up there and walk back down. It's just like anything, man. You got to make time for it. It's a priority, but not the highest one. I usually get my guns clean for the next weekend is what I do in the mornings before work, and then I do it again after work after I'm done shooting.
Well, you're looking good. I mean, if you're shooting, multiple times a week, I mean, that is a workout in itself, though. I mean, you're out there running your ass. Yeah,
just resetting steel is a job. I need a range bitch.
Yeah. I think I enjoyed when we were doing the Tough Mudders and stuff, Andy, and I think there is that's definitely an important part of anybody's defensive mindset and defensive shooting is this idea of fitness. So, I don't think I do enough. I'm finally kind of back on track with my diet, so I'm ready to get back into the the workout side of things, but the tough shot, I think, is something that you and I have always talked about. That is a way to at least be enjoyable while you're doing it. It incorporates with you.
It is, but I mean, people are scared to do it. I mean, we've offered it, and
yeah,
people they're used to sitting behind a bench with a piece of paper not moving, and they see this. Oh my God, they're doing CrossFit with guns. That's crazy.
I don't even know if it's a crazy thing. I think it's an embarrassment. To be completely honest, I think people are nervous about doing it and have somebody walk up and see what they're doing.
Yeah, I agree. Just do it. Who cares?
Well, that's the thing. There's probably very little people. You and I are not the norm, where we can go to the kind of do what we want and not give a shit about what people see us or thinking us.
Yeah.
I don't know. You need to shut up, Andy.
I know. That's the pillars of fitness and survival. Or whatever.
I love you. Guess what?
What?
Tomorrow's your birthday.
I know. Tomorrow's my birthday.
So, in between, my news topic is coming up. We might as well do the announcement. Tomorrow, I'm throwing a surprise birthday party that Andy knows about at the firing pin tomorrow night. I literally sent it to like 150 people, but like 4 people said I'll try and come. And I'm gonna buy pizza, so we're gonna shoot. We're bringing down the submachine gun, right?
Sure.
Submachine gun. The full auto AR is apart and broken, so we're not bringing that. But Glenn, what time are you getting back? Do you know?
Unfortunately, my flights don't get until like 11:30.
Oh, so you're out.
Yeah.
All right. Well, all right, Andy. I'll bring some guns and a bottle of bourbon. We'll be good to go.
Maybe a Glock or 2 that shoot a lot of bullets.
Oh yeah, we could bring the full auto Glocks. That'll be fun. Cool. All right. Well, I'm gonna get into my news topic because it's awesome, and I don't know how it made CNN, but it's great. So, Turd Ferguson makes it to Real Jeopardy. And the fact that this is on CNN is awesome because I saw this pop up, and before we started the show, I'm pretty sure Andy and I were going back with SNL Jeopardy skets, like saying for at least 20 minutes. So I'm going to play this video here, so let me share my screen. Here we go. It's quite awesome. You guys need to watch this.
Would you buy a car that didn't include wheels?
Fuck you, Ed.
Then why buy Cloud VPS hosting that doesn't include...
Category for
Okay,
final
here we
is
go.
Oscar-nominated songs, and here's the clue. This song from a 1999 animated film.
So this is Final
about
Jeopardy,
censorship,
and
had a word censored.
they're going to
from
skip
its
to
Oscar
what this woman
performance.
says here.
30 seconds, players. Good luck. You came up with this as your response for final. Let's
She's my
see.
hero.
What is the love ballad of Turd Ferguson? P.S. Hi, Mom. Nope. Sorry. That's going to cost you whatever you risked, and that's $600, taking you to zero.
Oh, that's great. So the original one is this one here.
That was worth 600 right there.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Absolutely.
Easy.
So here's where it is right here.
All right, Turd Ferguson.
Okay, I skipped it. Hang on.
The name's on the tip of my tongue.
What in the... Burt Reynolds, what are you doing here?
Yeah, it's not my name.
Oh. All right, Turd Ferguson.
So that's the Saturday Night Live skit, and it's
That's the podium from the graph.
oh, it's great. But the fact that Turd Ferguson made it out live and Alex Trebek actually said Turd Ferguson is great. So, but the fact that it's on CNN is awesome.
Do you think he's seen the episode though? He's got to have seen the episode.
Oh, he's got to watch that.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah.
There's no way he hasn't seen it.
Was that just recently?
I think that was like last night or 2 nights ago, right?
Oh,
Yeah, it was just on CNN.
It was posted CNN today.
Yeah, she should get a crowdfunding for at least $600 for that.
Absolutely. We have a question from Bradley Williams, not really a question, a good friend of ours. Can we start counting how many times in one episode Santola mentions a gun that's in pieces? And the answer is no. We cannot count that. But, no.
We could.
A drinking game.
What? It would be a good drinking game, but you guys would all be hammered.
When I was in gunsmithing school, we used to get drunk and see how fast we could take apart and put back together 1911s.
We got
That's what we did on Friday nights.
We got a bunch of I'm-ins and sound goods, Andy, so hopefully we'll see a bunch of our listeners and stuff. We'll do it as a official Crash and Burn meet tomorrow night. So I know we kind of broadcast sort of nationally now, but anybody that's up in the area, come out to the firing pin tomorrow night, and pizza's on me and Andy, and we'll have a good time.
Yeah, I got a couple guys from Buffalo I think are going to come out and have
Cool.
a good time.
That's cool. What's up? What time we say we were going? 7 o'clock, right?
7 o'clock.
Cool. Hey, look, Glenn actually added a news topic. What do you got, Glenn?
Oh, Leah did that.
Yeah, that was me. So Google, Guinness, the beer company, announced today.
Now we lost Leah.
We lost Leah.
What the heck?
What did you do, Glenn?
I don't know. I don't know what I did. She as soon as she started talking, she went down.
Yeah.
What she was trying to say was Guinness is apparently struggling. I don't know because I've been drinking Guinness for quite a while. But apparently they're struggling in the U.S., so they introduced an IPA.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So Guinness is now making an IPA. They're calling it a nitro IPA. And so the widget that it comes inside your Guinness.
Yep.
A little torpedo that actually puts bubbles into it. They're putting that in the IPA.
Really? So they're putting a little nitrogen cartridge in the IPA?
Yeah, they're putting that in so you can actually get like a foam head out of a bottle.
Sorry.
Somebody
And we know who's the most mature.
Have they done anything like this before?
I've never seen anything like this. Guinness, they've done.
No, Glenn, not Glenn.
lost Glenn now, too.
Right, we don't need any of that.
Last week the internet was awful here, and now we're losing Glenn and Leah like it's our job. So
They caught the internet HIV.
yeah, apparently. So well,
I can't see sales being weak for Guinness in the U.S. I mean,
no, I can't either. I
can't
would
see
think
that.
Guinness is pretty good. Oh, she's back.
I'm here. Sorry, you guys. I don't know
okay.
what you've been talking about.
We talked a
I
little bit about
apologize.
IPA. Glenn's frozen now, though.
It's perfect. It's fine. Well, so yeah, I don't know if you heard what I was saying, but they are going to be canning it with the little nitro ball that they put in the cans of regular Guinness.
Right.
So that it gets that nice thick head, which I honestly think is better on an IPA.
Erica,
A nice thick head.
while you were gone, Erica said she loved the thick.
Perfect. See? Meant it to be.
They do make a Guinness blonde.
They do, and this article that I'm reading, it's honestly a BuzzFeed article. But the blonde sold so well that they decided to try something else.
I will try it.
Well,
I'll totally try it.
I'll try.
I guess I guess their sales have been slipping off a little bit, so they're trying something new, and they're basically trying to go along with all the craft brews that are popular now. And I think it's a good idea because Guinness has been making beer for, 100 years?
And it's one of the
I trust
healthy
them.
beers, too.
It is a healthy beer. Drink Guinness for your health.
we did. We talked about that one episode, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Well, that's cool. When does it come out?
You'd think I would have read that already. This article does not have a date. Basically, I mean, there's a picture of a can. Let's see. Let's look at Guinness. Let's see what Guinness has to say.
You should know this by now.
You are correct. See, Guinness's website doesn't have anything about it yet. It's just the news.
Yeah, it's probably pretty early that it's.
Yeah, it's super early. I mean, they have a can designed. The can's really nice. It's like the classic Guinness can, but it's in white with a green background, which is really nice.
Hipster.
Totally. Right here. But yeah, I think they're just trying to capitalize on a market that makes a lot of money, which is smart.
Yeah, like AD said though, I don't think it's actually slow. They're probably just trying to release a more diverse product.
Definitely. Why not?
Right. Yeah. So. All right. Well, let's move on to Tech Corner. Everybody, not everybody, but iOS 9 showed up today. Anybody else out there on an iPhone notice that iOS 9 showed up as an update today? Well, I did. I saw it, and
it's like seeing a red bump on your wiener. You're like, oh shit.
I
hope that's an ingrown hair. Should I open it? No, I'm gonna let it. Maybe it'll go away.
I happened to open up the App Store, and I had like 30 updates for apps. And I was like, I bet you there's some sort of update. So I looked, and it was iOS 9. And I can't tell anything that's different. It says that.
Not herpes.
Oh, look at that! Look at this. So before, when you double tap, which it actually looks different. You see how the different apps look a little different now. The way it's swiping through them.
Ooh, I kind of like that.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. So the other thing I think it says that iOS 9 has is like true multitasking. I can't figure out how to do it on my phone yet, but on the iPads, I guess you can actually run two apps side by side on the screen now, which is kind of cool.
Ooh, catching up to Android.
Shut up, Ann. I don't need. Oh, speaking of Android, I did root and hack my other tablet today, which is why I haven't been posting much on All Star Tactical's Instagram, because I happened to mess it up a few times. That's
Android or Apple?
Android. It's running like Cyanogen mod or something. One of the different ROMs.
Cyanogen.
Yeah. So I'm excited. I'm glad that iOS 9 came out. I was surprised it came out already. I thought the Watch OS was supposed to update too. So I'll give you guys an update next week. See if the Watch OS updates as well. But next up, we got Andy with Fireman Bulletproof Vests. Take it away.
Yeah, this just came out. FEMA has recommended firefighters wear bulletproof vests. Imagine that. This isn't really anything new. It's just new that FEMA has come out and said it. We had the West Webster tragedy a little over a year ago, and there's been a couple other different things around the country. Not that a vest would have helped, but just the other month, a firefighter got run down, deliberately murdered while out doing a Fill the Boot campaign. But I know ambulance drivers have been wearing these for over 20 years because I had one when I was a medic in the city. And it's just something, I mean, it's just come to the forefront that FEMA is recommending that firefighters will wear bulletproof vests. I know our friend Rob Pincus had there was a symposium in the Sun down in Florida where a bunch of top-level firemen went and they talk about things. And he went down there to talk about arming firemen, saying it's a good idea if the right training is there. But what do you guys think of the government giving, like local governments giving firemen, EMS guys bulletproof vests?
I think
it's a good thing.
The only question I have is how would that interact with the gear that you guys are already using?
Well, we wouldn't always. Well, I wouldn't always wear. I do have one here. If we get a certain call, I'd put it on and I'd go. If we're getting a fire, I put my appropriate fire gear on. If I'm going to a suicidal, I'd right now. If someone called 911 saying they're acting up, suicidal, anything, violent patient, whatever, we had like a 97-year-old woman. She was irate on the phone. So instead of going right away as a first responder, we sit in the firehouse and wait for a policeman to get there or someone to clear the scene. And why even bother going, because we're not first responders anymore. So we're delaying care or delaying services to the public because we have to wait for someone else to get there.
So you're talking about more of being an option than something you wear all the time.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean,
okay. That makes a lot of sense to me. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense to me because I just was thinking like you're wearing all that gear, you're in a hot building with a flak jacket underneath it. It's going to just be too much.
Yeah, most of the guys can't even wear what we have.
Yeah, no.
How would that have changed though the West Webster incident? Because wasn't that a fire call?
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. It's kind of hard to be unbiased
like,
because we live in a city where that happened.
Yeah,
it wouldn't have changed the outcome to that. But you know what happened was these guys got shot at, and what happened was they got on the radio and said they're shooting, so no one went in and helped them. I mean,
Are firefighters? Can you guys arm yourselves? Are you allowed to carry while you're working?
I can, but I would probably get fired.
Okay.
It's
Really?
against the rules. It's against the rules. Yeah, it's a policy, no firearm policy. I wouldn't go to jail, but I would lose my job. So it's my choice. It's my choice not to carry because I want to keep my job because it's the best job in the world.
If you grew a mustache,
yeah,
that would be okay though, right?
That would be fine.
Okay.
Do you
I
have
can't grow
your
a beard,
mustache
and I
in
can't have a gun.
between the nose?
What was that, Glenn?
You got to keep your mustache like in between the corners of your lips, like the military.
Yes, in our regulations, it's taken out of the military handbook, but they let it relax in November for some reason.
So you can grow a sweet handlebar?
I can grow a sweet handlebar in November.
I know what I'm doing for November.
What are you growing, Leah?
I'm growing a sweet handlebar.
You guys know we're gonna have to buy Leah and Erica like fake mustaches or something.
You guys, I'm on it.
All right.
I think
there are places around the country who do arm their firemen. They're like they're dual trained, dual sworn, protective people. So they get a bank robbery. They load their shotgun and their vest, and they get on the truck and they go to the bank robbery in the fire truck. The cops have fireman gear in their trunk, so if there's a fire, they get in their cop car and they go help put the fire out. It's supposed to be a cost saving for the town where both departments are multi-trained. You can cut your forces in half, but it's intense. You're going through 2 academies. It's a lot of training. I spent 3 hours online doing medical protocol training today. So I have to do 3 hours of that and then do 3 hours of qualifying after that. I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't mind. I'd love it.
I mean, it seems like the McDonald's up the street from us has an armed security guard.
They should.
And he's not rushing in to save anyone's life. He's literally standing at the door to McDonald's. I feel like you guys, and like there are different areas in the city that I would feel better if our firefighters were armed. Just for their own safety.
I agree, and I also disagree. Just like, I mean, not everyone should be armed.
Oh, definitely not. Definitely not.
A lot of the people I see every day should not be armed.
Yeah.
You were correct. I'm sorry. I should have said our firefighters should be allowed to be armed if they are.
Yeah, just like teachers.
Yeah, exactly.
Just like everybody.
Wow.
Just like everybody. No.
Yeah. You shouldn't have to give that up for your job.
No, yeah.
But no, if you're talking a vest for as an extra piece of equipment, as an option for a specific type of situation, it absolutely makes sense.
Yeah.
If you're talking about making fire suits bulletproof, that's a whole other problem.
That would be cool, though.
Yeah.
I wonder if that in the long run would be cheaper.
Yeah, I mean,
No.
what are the fire suits made out of now? Are they Kevlar?
Nomex, right?
Kevlar and Nomex, yep.
What's Nomex's properties for stopping bullets? Nothing. It's just fire retardant. Fire retarded.
It's got to be layered and glued, and that'll never work unless you, I don't know, try it.
What happens when you're fire retarded?
Retarded. Fire. I don't know.
Moving on. All right, that means it's time for everybody's favorite segment. Who's ready for it? Here we go.
You know what really grinds my gears?
All right. Why don't Erica tell us?
You know what really grinds my gears?
What do you got?
All right, so last week I was kind of harping on the girls a little bit. So this one's aimed specifically at the menfolk, and
Dude.
sorry, not sorry, but what really grinds my gears are guys who dip. It's gross, okay? It's a deal breaker. Yeah. I've seen plenty of good-looking guys that dip, and immediately, yeah, that's done. And then when you carry your little spit cup with, literally, you just carry it around. Like, it's like your little, like, oh, my precious little spit cup with all of my spit and tobacco-flavored goo in your cup. And then you just spit in it. Yeah, like you're done sucking a cock, and you spit it into this cup. Maybe I should carry one of those around? Mike? What do you, no? Okay?
I think Michael would say yes.
Oh, okay.
Get the cup.
Get the cup. Don't spit it on the ground. Got it. Use the cup.
I prefer they carry the cup than leave it places for other people to clean up.
Oh, but that's the problem. Like, it goes with them, but then it sits there.
Yep.
And please, if you're going to carry a cup, don't make it a clear one, okay? That's really gross. But, yeah, dip, spit. And any guy that just, like, you're talking to him and all of a sudden he hocks a loogie on the ground. Okay? That's gross and disgusting. No girl's going to be like,
Really grinds
yeah.
It really grinds my gears.
No, so fucking stop, okay? There you go. Done.
You know what really grinds my gears?
G Webbs wants to know, what if you dip bacon? Is that okay?
Yeah, that's more acceptable.
So if you just take a little bit of bacon and shove it in your lip.
That's probably fine because you're definitely going to swallow that.
Yeah, no woman ever looked at the bulge that's in your lip and was like, oh, yeah. No, I'm looking at your bulge in your pants, so...
That tumor looks
It's no wonder grinds my gears is everyone's favorite topic here.
It's everybody's favorite topic.
So...
Especially when Harry plays
really-
over Brock.
Grinds my gears.
All right, I've got this week's weekly YouTube video, so everybody get excited for this. I've had this window open all day. Uh,
I haven't seen this one.
Mike Ann says that was the best PSA for Chew ever. That's awesome. All right, let me share my screen here. And you guys are going to like this because I know what type of people listen to this show. And this one's called Why Does Coffee Make You Poop? Everybody see this? It says coffee and poop are best friends. When we drink coffee, many of us need to poop. Coffee stimulates movement in the colon. Scientists don't exactly know why. But that the epithelial tissue, the lining of the stomach and small intestine. Coffee also promotes the release of gastrin, a hormone known to activate the colon. And the colon is nearest to the exit. After that first cup, coffee's best friend may make a quick appearance. As quick as 4 minutes. But not everyone experiences this effect. Only 23% of people are affected, and women are twice as likely to poop as men. This varies with people's daily habits and caffeine sensitivity. But we're still friends, right? Duh. There you go. Coffee and poop.
That was great.
You guys think? Good thing I read, because nobody would have known what was going on if I wasn't reading along.
That was adorable.
Totally true.
You'd think there'd be more science there.
Probably not.
Yeah, like, has nobody gotten their PhD in studying that?
Be a great dissertation, right?
Yeah.
I would love to get a PhD in something to do with coffee and great. So.
Well, I know if you throw a cigarette in there, it's 100%.
Right, definitely. What? How are we doing on time, Andy? We're over.
Time to go to bed.
All right. Mm-hmm. So what do we got coming up tomorrow? Like I said, tomorrow is Andy's birthday, so make sure y'all wish him a happy birthday on Crash and Burn page. If you're not friends with him on Facebook, but definitely leave him a happy birthday. Tomorrow, Firing Pin. If you're local to us, come out, hang out, get some pizza, drink some bourbon. We're going to fire some guns and put the guns away and drink the bourbon. This weekend, probably just hanging out, not doing much. Anybody else got anything fun going on?
We've got our son's birthday party, Mike.
Yep.
I'm going.
That's
going
right.
On trampolines.
Trampoline park.
Andy, we should drink a bunch of beers and jump on the trampolines.
Okay.
We'll periscope it.
Yes.
Maybe keep checking our social media because we're probably going to open up a Crash and Burn Periscope, and we'll start it with Andy's party tomorrow.
What is Periscope? I've heard a lot about this. Tell me more.
See, I'm not the only one who doesn't.
No, I honestly
it's like a live YouTube, correct? Is that right?
Yeah, it's kind of like what we're doing right now, but they're short clips, or right, Andy, or what is it?
No, it's a one-way video, and so it records you and what you're doing, and then people can log in and they can ask questions. So it's a one-way chat kind of thing. So you can follow.
How does it differ from Meerkat?
Not much. It's owned by Twitter. That's why, because Twitter's pushing it out. It automatically, when you sign on, all your Twitter followers kind of migrate to that. So it's like Meerkat.
Oh, cool. Next week, or the 26th, which is 2 weeks, Andy? 2 weeks?
Yeah.
1 week? 2 weeks.
A week from this Saturday.
A week from this Saturday, we have the NY Firearms event at the Ontario Rod and Gun Club. Hit up nyfirearms.com. Tickets are cheap, $30, I believe. There'll be more at the door, but it'll be Andy and I doing a bunch of tactical shooting.
And Glenn, I think.
Glenn's going to be there with some long-range stuff. We'll be doing a little bit of 2-gun, 3-gun kind of stuff, and it should be a good time. So check it out, nyfirearms.com. It's right on the front page.
Aren't you having food too? Yeah.
Yeah, we should be having pulled pork sandwiches this year. Should be a good time. Thank
Oh,
you
yeah, I'm
again
definitely
to
looking
our great sponsors, X8 Tactical, Key Bar, and Molan Labe Forum. Check those guys out. We really appreciate what they've done for us. Next week's show should be good as well. Our guest is Derek Bone. And we want to thank everybody for being on the show. To reach us, you can follow Crash and Burn on Twitter, @Crash and Burn. Follow us on Facebook. Follow us individually on Instagram. I'm @Mike Santola, @Andy Dixon, @GRifleworks, @BrownLovesBlack, @Erica Santola. And Jesse, yours is just your name, right? @Jesse Tischauser? Tischauser?
He's muted.
@I'm muted.
Yeah, Jesse Tischauser. Jesse Tischauser.
Okay, no underscores or anything, right? Just
I don't think so. No. Good luck with the last name, but if you get Jesse T, that usually gets it.
we'll have Leah shout you out on one of the Instagrams or something. So, yeah, if you guys have any other questions, follow us. Ask us your questions. Next week we're gonna have a great show. Head over to our YouTube and subscribe. We are super close to 200 subscribers, and we want to keep going from there. So yeah, once again, thank you very much, and
I got one more, Mike.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
One more shout out. October 7th, William April is coming to our region. If you're in Canada, like Toronto, it'll be perfect. You come right down for the day. He's doing the unthinkable, the 5 Ws. William April from April Risk Consulting. It's going to be great class.
Cool. So once again, thank you guys, everybody, for being on the show. Thank you for listening, and we will catch you all next week. Goodbye.
Bye.
See you later.
I'm too dead.
See you later.